George, remember me? I was once the demon of Kristen's dreams. Now how about I'm yours? There's a saying that a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Do you want to know what's coming this season on Evil? Are you absolutely sure?
We're going to be parents. In 38 days, a child will be born. They will sing hymns in your honor, the mother of the living Antichrist.
That level of crazy?
It's biblical, so yes.
We've already hunted werewolves and demons. Are we now hunting witches?
Okie dokie.
What happens if the Antichrist is baptized?
Who's the Antichrist?
Timothy, 3-month-old baby.
Let's just give him an exorcism.
There's just so much more. No need to be afraid. This season, you'll have me right there with you. In your dreams. Promise. See you again soon.
And good morning, everybody. Almost afternoon. If you were with us last night, then you know we were going to go live this morning and talk about the new episode, Season 4, Episode 2. And it's supposed to be How to Train a Werewolf, but they play us a little bit, Dana, in our pop-up book. It's How to Train a Dog.
Did.
They played us on this whole episode. I got the thumbnail wrong. Everything. So the boar is not going to be the werewolf.
I know.
It's a robot.
That threw me off. That definitely threw me off a little bit. Threw me off my game.
I know we do better next time. On next episode, we're going to get that thumbnail right. We're going to go through and we're going to find the right one before we know what the episode is about, really.
Yep.
Trying to figure out the right one from the trailer.
They got us. They got us, Scarlet. They got us.
What is the boar going to be? I don't even know.
I know. Now I'm really curious. The fuckery of it all. They got us with some fuckery.
I know. But welcome, everybody. Today we are going to deep dive into this episode. It aired last night. It dropped around midnight or so. I think we watched it around 1 o'clock or so. I don't know. It depends on what time, because I'm an hour behind you. So, like, it's Eastern time. So I'm trying to remember my time, too. But yeah, we watched it a little late last night after it actually dropped. And man, that was fun. Because the whole time, like, I'm sitting there trying to look for the sigil messages that they're supposed to be putting in the episode while trying to watch the episode, which is really hard to do. And they did. They threw me off. I did not see it when we first watched through. Because you heard me. I was like, where's the sigils?
You're like, I gotta go back.
Oh, but I found them. Oh my gosh. And they made it even more complicated this time. First episode, somewhat easy to read. This episode, they got a little hard to read. But we're going to get into all of that. Let's see who is hanging out with us this morning, or afternoon, or late night, or even 1:30 in the morning for Jen Hack. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging. If it is really 1:30 a.m., then yeah, dude. A bit stoned, a bit pissed. But yeah, let's do this. Well, this might actually get you in a better mood. You never know. Get your mind off some things.
Yep.
Smoke one if you got one, for sure. It's wake and bake for us.
Pretty much. Wake and bake is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
And what is up, Nikki? Glad to see you hanging with us this morning as well, getting in the hot tub and listening. I hope it feels good in there.
Right?
I know. I jelly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's see what we got on this episode. And this was the picture of one of the sigils. This is not the actual sigil map as far as what they show you in the episodes that they follow David in the church. This is the one that they gave out, I think, around season 2. They gave out
I think
fans.
so.
And this one is basically the codex for us as fans to use when they put these little messages in and different things. And so the alphabet has been, and the numbers have been put on here. We still have some, though, that don't have anything on them. We have the apple, the dagger, the skull, this little burst, the hand, this little skeleton dude, the scales, so the beetle. So some of these, I don't remember what they are supposed to be. I don't think they've been placed yet. We even have the hourglass. But the rest of these pretty much have some number or letter on them, and they're going to correspond to the messages, which is really cool. I kind of like
is
that
really
they're doing
cool.
this.
So do
And
I.
it's literally the message leads you to something in the episode, and it's basically asking you for a number. Last episode was the number of pics of Kristen and Andy on the refrigerator. That was 6. This episode, and I don't even know if I got the message right. I'm almost 100% sure, because as we go through, I'll show y'all the pictures. It could be just my video quality when I was taking them, but because of where they put the sigils, some of them were just really hard to read. And then when you zoom in, it gets like blurry and stuff.
Yes.
So I had to do the old, like Hangman. You put the number of letters, little dashes. I filled in the ones
Photoshop magic.
I filled in
Photoshop
one.
magic.
Look, I filled in the letters that I could read with the sigils, and then I had to fill in the rest of the letters, so to speak. Because some of I matched them up, but like some of the sigils, if you look at them, hang on, they're kind of really close to looking the same. Like, let's see, which one was it? I was having a hard time. All right, the I. This one, when it's real, like, the way they have it, the I, even the one sometimes would get kind of messed up. Oh, the E. It was the E, the I. And there was one more that I was having a hard time with. What was it? It was O and U or something like that, because they look, oh yeah, see, O's that cross sort of. So the way they had it, because it's such a small image when they put it on the screen, that when you blow it up, these little like differences are harder to make out, and especially on some of these. So those were like some of the letters that, even like this one, I thought it was a P, but then the P and the G, the way they did it, it almost looks the same. Like I said, some of this gets blurred out, so all you see is like certain shapes, and then it made it difficult for me anyways. Sorry, I was getting really off track there.
It's okay.
But yeah, so we're going to start the episode off, and they start off, and this felt like the true Scooby-Doo final, like a real Scooby-Doo like mystery, right? We're gonna find a werewolf. They're at like it's like almost like a church, but they're in like the cemetery area or the graveyard area.
Yes.
It opens up with the crows and everything, surrounding it, like above the building, circling. And they're just like, okay, we're just gonna kind of hang out between like what I forget, it was like midnight and 2 or something, or 10 and 2. It's supposedly when this creature comes out at night during was it midnight mass?
Yep.
And it comes and attacks them. They swear it's a werewolf. Everybody at this place swears it's a werewolf, so they're going to investigate it. And I love this. They're telling ghost stories outside, almost like it's a campsite or something. I don't know. They're out, in the back of the truck. She's got her margarita and popcorn. Yeah, they're just having a good old time.
Ben and David are drinking a beer, and she busts out her fucking margarita.
Always got the canned margaritas.
They packed for a little adventure.
And look at this. It was so pretty in a way. They had like this huge, like, full moon with this graveyard scene. And and they're talking about the werewolf, it's a full moon, midnight in the graveyard.
Yep.
David starts investigating there's a rustle in the leaves in the trees behind the graveyard. David goes investigates. Never do that.
Horror movie rule 101: never investigate the noise.
I do love this image though of it. It's just so pretty. They got the moon, but it is so creepy because I mean, this is just, as soon as I seen that, I'm like, man, don't go. Even
yep, I was like, don't do it. Nothing good ever comes from this. Nothing good ever comes from investigating the noise, people.
Even Chris is like, David, no, dang it.
And again, no weapons. I mean, I know Ben grabbed the crowbar, but Like, what
Thank
is that
God for he
doing?
did that. He at least
What
grabbed something.
what is
Some
this doing,
crowbar.
people? It's
A
not even like you
werewolf.
guys are deadly assassins and you could like survive in hand-to-hand combat. Like you were just three regular fucking people. What are you doing against a werewolf?
Good morning, Buddha Cafe. We are just talking about the new episode of Evil, checking it out. Gonna find out what mysteries are in it and see what they're gonna solve this week.
Yes, Scarlett and I are on the case.
And Nikki says, okay, I'm gonna start watching the show tonight. I know I'll at least get through season 1 in a few days. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. The second season's a little rougher to get through because that's where I think they were kind of switching over between like CBS and Paramount.
Yes.
But season 1 and season 3, I would say, are my favorite. Now, season 4 is
Yes.
going to probably be my
Same.
absolute favorite. But it's before season 4 came out, yeah, season 1 and season 3. Oh, the way they ended season 3. This show, honestly, will trigger you if you're not careful. There's a
Yes.
lot of things in here that will trigger you, but it's almost like the way they play it, I kind of like. Because it's like, okay, we're dealing with all these like real life problems, whether supernatural or man-made. Yeah, they'll trigger you because they're showing you real things, like whether it's Kristen and her kids and the stuff they have to go through, or when they hit on these different religious topics and different things, it can trigger you. But the way they kind of talk about it and the way that they present it and go through it in the episode, it's almost as if because they give you almost three sides, right? They're
Yep.
giving, because it's always from Ben, David, and Kristen, and all three of them are almost like these three different points of view. David might hit something when they're doing something. He goes straight this way with it. Kristen may go straight that way, and then Ben goes this other way. And it's almost like together they come around, and then you're given almost like the Schroeder's cat, one of two options. It's almost like both because they never really answer it, right? Like even this robot, I think we never really answered what is up with the robots. They're just like, okay, it's malware, whatever. Dude, jailbroke it, whatever. But we don't really know because as they're looking at it, when he first encounters it in this graveyard, its eyes, we never see this robot have these same color eyes throughout the entire episode.
It has
they
the
showed
same
different ones.
gold glow as the gold. I think this season we're going to see a lot of stuff associated with that gold color of the beam that hit Ben.
Yep.
Because it seems like even in the images that you were showing last night, the backgrounds could have been any color, could have been red, could have been orange. They chose that golden hue as the color for the color theme.
Yep.
And everything, so I think that's going to hold a lot of value. And I agree with you. I love the perspectives that they show. I love that's like David sees it through the eyes of like a godly person, a priest, somebody who very much is devoted to his religion. Kristen sees it through the eyes of a psychologist, a doctor, somebody who has to see this. And I say science as in non supernatural approach. And Ben sees it from the technical side of it. Like, so they each have their different ways of looking at things. And sometimes I feel like they're trying so hard to disprove it that at points they'll believe anything as long as it's not supernatural.
Even their walks of life, they make sure to not forget, like, that David, he is black and that his family has ties to slavery, or even that Kristen, how she has to deal with things as a female in the world, or even Ben, even Andy, and how he has to deal with things, like how they portray the characters, and they don't forget. It's almost like they don't want to harp on anything. It's not necessarily about like race or anything in particular, but they still make sure to say, hey, look, these characters are still real characters. These are still part of their character. We don't forget that.
Yes.
And so I do like how they do add in all these different things in life that people perceive, that either we argue over, debate, some say are evil or cruel or whatever, and however we perceive things, they're showing that in the show and almost giving it to you as, is it human or is it supernatural? Yes. What is the influence? Why? And then that's where like Kristen and the psychology comes in. Why? Like, how does the human mind work? Why do we perceive things? Even in this episode, It's going to be about perception because of what Ben has been dealing with now. After he got hit with that ray beam, he's trying to figure out, why am I seeing this out of my peripherals? What is it about my vision? Am I able to see this being at certain points in time? So he's going to basically do a color test. And this was really cool too, because he's literally going to show them all the different colors and how this being is being perceived through the different light waves or frequencies. That's like crazy amount of science that they're going to allow into here. And they're actually, I think, doing a really good job with all of this. And it's so much in each episode.
Same. And I really think they like to try to, I don't know, almost does a true, what does a true act of evil hold? Like, is it just a human nature aspect? Is somebody just so evil like that? Like it's almost like they want to see if evil is done by a supernatural force or is it just human nature? And I love that.
Nikki says nobody should trust psychologists and shrinks. They can't make any money if you get better. That is true. And I like, and see, they hit on that, right? We hit on that in is it season 2 or season 3 when Kristen, they're dealing with the one patient who they gave the exorcism tube and then she relapsed because she went to a psychiatrist that was doing certain treatments that even as her as a psychiatrist and others in the field would say is dangerous. It's a form of psychotherapy that is like can be harmful to the patient if it's not done right. So they even make mention of that. Like that's what I love about it. They show you both sides of the coin, so to speak. The good, the bad, and the middle. And it really makes you like, because she even tells you like, okay, so, and they even made sure to put that psychiatrist that patient ended up going to, he was getting kickbacks from a pharmaceutical company, I believe, in order to use a particular drug that was supposed to be cheaper for the patient, but in the end had more side effects and was more harmful to the patient.
Yes. It's a great overall show. I really enjoy this show.
I dropped out of physics at university, basically felt more safe with slime, molds, and rocks. Yeah, I like what is it? They have the show sometimes, is it like the Weather Channel or whatever, and they go into the different places and dig out the different kind of stones and stuff. And they break it, and I love if they find one of the big geos and break it open. And you get the pretty amethyst. It's so pretty. I like the pretty colors.
I like the pretty colors.
It's better science, yes. And I love it because we're going to get into even more science. I mean, I think they're doing like what? We're going to get like 3 or 4 different things science-y this episode. We get the robot, which you barely can see it. And I did my best to get the screenshot of it. But when they're hearing the rustle, there's these orangish, goldish eyes that they see. And if you watch it, it legit looks like a werewolf walking behind the gravestones. I thought it was a werewolf.
Yeah, that looked way bigger than the robot. I'm sorry. That doesn't look like something that's, because the robot dogs were really low. They're small. They're not as big as I thought. Like when you think werewolf, you think of something much bigger. That image, like that, seemed taller.
Look, see, he's like, all right, so it was way back here, and he kind of disappears. He turns around and is like, where's it at? And this thing just creeps up right here behind David. And again, you barely can see. It's like this weird glow. And then this thing attacks him. And it's going after his cell phone. We find that out later. But it does. You barely see it because it was so fast and it was dark. And it jumps up and just kind of, and it's got this appendage on top like a mouth arm thing.
Yep.
That it can bite you with.
For a quick second, I thought it was a spider of some kind.
I didn't know what it was. It was kind of scary because it just kind of pops up and you just kind of see the eyes and then it's like, rawr. It's like, whoa.
Shit literally popped up out of nowhere.
And they beat the shit. They literally beat the crap out of this thing with the crowbar.
Yep.
They take it back to the church to our new favorite Monsignor.
Oh my God, his reaction to this was so funny. Do we have robots attacking people? Never thought I'd
Oh,
see hear myself saying that.
he's like, all right, so we solved the werewolf. Now, what is this robot trying to kill us for? Because it did. The sister Andrea comes in and notices the robot, and she's letting them know, like, yeah, one of the other nuns has been attacked like the other day or a week ago. It tried to literally bust through the door, like it was like hammering through the door. This robot was like souped up for some reason. It's being extra because they're supposed to just Ben's explained to him they're supposed to just be like surveillance, or they're not supposed to be like inherently aggressive. But again, it's technology. Now they're assuming right now that it went after David and this other nun who happen to also be black. So they're thinking someone has pre-programmed this for racism, and they're thinking it's just about skin color. Well, they're going to find out who. It's almost comical because the whole way through they're talking about this racist individual, and then when they find out who the dog belongs to, is kind of funny.
Yes, it was a gotcha moment. It's
So
definitely a gotcha moment.
So the lady behind the doggy, or at least the software, was our throwback to our VidTap chick that Ben knows. And she is now not working for VidTap. I think they either fired a whole bunch of people. Company wasn't doing very well because remember it had some things going on. So she has now created the software, and they're in beta on the doggies, and they have people have them, but she's saying, basically explaining to them it's a closed circuit software. It's not like people just kind of go in and just be able to hack it unless they jailbreak it. So they're like, all right, this dude is jailbroken the software. He's clearly broken terms of services. They're going to try to figure out who he is and get him and find out why, like what jailbreak he did and what it's programmed to do. And she also allows them to have, since the one they have now is destroyed, she's like, well, I'm going to give y'all one of our latest versions that we've been working on, the newest model, and let y'all compare it and see what y'all can find. Because she's like, people are jailbreaking my technology or, my software. We need to know about this because it's dangerous if it is attacking people. And there it is.
And I love how they brought her back, the little chickie from the episode with the app.
Mm-hmm. Jid Hack says, as an ex-Catholic, I think the show makes me think I miss all the fun there. I know, right? Hacking is underrated. Oh. Well, and you'll find out it's not just the hack. It's what's behind the hack. Who's behind the hack, really? And what's attached to the hack.
Yeah, I think it's a little more than the guy who is the actual quote unquote hacker, because he found it from a website. And then when they go to the website, what's on the website? A sigil.
A sigil. Yeah, it's tied to a sigil, of course. But you have to find one tied somewhere. If you don't find sigils, this wouldn't be evil. There's a little cute doggy. Look, oh, he sat up. This was his defensive pose. And he did a little like, and look, all right, Dave. Remember we were talking about later. We'll show the photo when we get to it. Look, his paws don't have any kind of like indention things on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he don't have no like little grates or no kind of, it's a round surface on his paws. I don't know what made them indentions later. He got round paws. He ain't got no like little sigils on the bottom of his paws or no little like markings that if he was stepping in mud and he tracked mud in, like on your shoes, you leave a little mud print. He ain't got no like print. It's just a round. It'd just be like a round circle. And it's got little round balls on his paws. Later, something tracked in the house and it had like indentions. I don't know what that was. It leaves me with so many questions.
It does. It really does.
It's creepy, dude. Tell David he's late. He's literally just sitting there in the dark in David's room. David comes back to get ready to change, and he's like, David, you're late. Like, what the fuck? like, you gonna wait till I took my pants off to say something, bro?
Right? You couldn't. You needed me to take my pants off. You needed me to take my pants off for this conversation. You couldn't, like, just stop me when maybe I unbuckled my first belt buckle or something.
Like, I walked in with jacket off.
David's like, violation, dude.
Really?
Violation.
Oh my god, it was bad. He does it to me like every time. He's just kind of hanging out in the room, and David's like taking his clothes off. You're thinking he's alone, finally taking a breath. Where he thinks he can kind of like think and not have people around.
David's got no privacy. I
He
think like
doesn't.
everybody has snuck into his room at one point or another, and he
Oh my
just turns
god.
around like, what the
I
fuck?
know. I love how even LeConte
I put a
asked him
lock on my
about.
door.
So was LeConte asked him about the fit or the mosquito net?
Oh
Like
yeah, you got
everybody knows.
mosquitoes. Yes, he does.
Not anymore. He still does. He's like, no, I don't know more. The mosquito net's back there. It's so comical seeing it back there. I don't know why. Every time I see it, I giggle because I think of the image they show of evil demon shape-shifting looking Kristen wrapped up in this thing. And people are asking about this mosquito net. It's just like, how do you explain it? The mosquito net keeps this mosquito demon that looks like Kristen away from him, from sucking on his brain. It's a hell of a
Well, it's
conversation
an
starter.
oddity. It's an oddity in New York. Like yeah, we got mosquitoes and stuff, but we ain't in like the middle of Africa to where
You ain't in
you need
Alabama,
these
man. We got
mosquito
mosquitoes
nets.
down here like crazy, girl. We got mosquitoes as big as your hand sometimes. No, I'm just
So
kidding.
to see
They
somebody
kind
with a
of big.
mosquito net in the middle of fucking New York City is like, huh? You got mosquitoes?
Mm-hmm. What's up, Percy? Glad to see you. I would say
What's up,
still good. It's
Percy?
still morning for me. I don't know if it's still morning for you. If not, good afternoon, good morning, even if it's good night.
Welcome, welcome. But yeah, LeConte, I just, there's so much more to him. I hope we get to do a little more dive into his character before the show
Yeah,
is over.
absolutely. They definitely I like how he's like, in this episode later telling them basically this is where our journey ends together because this is beyond my belief. This what they're gonna have David doing now. David is basically graduating. I don't know if Grace has actually told them about David or they're using Grace and saying Grace has told David to, basically to get him to go to this place. But he does mention Grace to him and says, look, we need you to go here. Is being very like hush hush about what it is exactly. But they go there. So he's going to basically, I think he's going to be another prophet. I think they're
You
trying to prove
think?
he's a prophet. Well, I mean, like this is what they didn't know it because they didn't know of all of his visions. Grace did. And if she did tell them, this is like they're going to basically show us how they're going to prove he's a prophet. And it's kind of crazy because oh man, now I forgot what they called it. Oh man, they called it something else. Remote viewing.
That's actually a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a real thing the government tried to like do something with. And there's this YouTuber who does a show called The Y Files. I know
Mm-hmm.
you've probably heard me and Ravener talk about this show. He deep
Mm-hmm.
dives into a lot of these, not just conspiracy theories, but other interesting little tidbits of information. And he does a really interesting episode about this remote viewing stuff and how these people were were I guess you could call it experimented on, not experimented on to where think of like somebody strapped to a table and like horrible things happening, but they literally had these people remote view Mars and the moon. And allegedly they found all this like interesting stuff. And some stuff he was able to disprove and some stuff he wasn't. But if you like that sort of stuff, check out the Y Files. He has a bunch of interesting stuff. And one of them is about this remote viewing, and I'll actually send you over the episode, Scarlett.
awesome.
You would enjoy it.
Oh yeah. And they do. I think he even tells David like they're trying to be so exact as to not tell David anything because they don't want David to have any knowledge of what he's going to be going into. So much that they even want his clothing no red, no polyester, 100% cotton. His
Yep,
shoes
no
had to
loud
be
prints.
nothing distracting. His shoes had to be a particular like kind of shoe. It was like it was really weird. Even David the whole time said like as it goes through the episode, he's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, he was
Yeah.
really it wasn't until they revealed what was going on that I was like, oh, that was so cool.
It was interesting. And he was like, you drew this shit up to 75% accuracy.
Mm-hmm. But I said then they're giving us quite a bit of science so far, and I like it. I like this. This is where Ben's gonna find out about the colors and what he can perceive of the demon, or and as he calls it, his jinn. He did, I believe, I won't say
Yep.
confirm, but he called it the jinn.
He called it a jinn.
Which he's still skeptical as if it's real or not. But he's assuming it's a jinn because it's in his head, and his brain would, since he his family, would believe in jinns and stuff. That's what he would go to, as opposed to like a more Catholic sort.
Yes.
I think they were Islamic.
Either is one of those. I don't know, but yes, I believe they follow the Quran compared to the Bible.
And again, that's how they're bringing in, like, still Ben, even though he doesn't believe in all that, they still bring in that heritage. They still bring in those ties to family as part of the story. He's like almost when David had that call where he was telling last season to Sister Andrea, why did the angel change from white to black? And that's your perception. That could be part of it. And this is where I think he's going to determine what is it that we are perceiving and what is real. And this is where he's not thinking the jinn is really a jinn. It's his brain. In his brain, he has grown up to see demons as jinns. Therefore, his mind makes up the jinn, and then he's telling himself things that only he would say. Like, I think the jinn tells him something like, science isn't going to get you out of this one. And he's like, does a jinn really sound like that? You sound like me.
And that's when he starts thinking it's a manifestation in his own mind.
Mm-hmm. But it's really cool. He sets up basically these two color charts. One's the black and white, and the other one's like all the full colors.
The spectrums, yes.
The spectrums, go ahead.
No, I was going to say he's trying to like see how he blends in the different color spectrums of. He's just trying very hard to prove that this is all in his mind.
Mm-hmm. And which
almost like he needs it. He needs it to be in his mind.
Mm-hmm. And he's trying to show which colors does the demon appear in more. Does he appear more in the yellow frequencies or waves? Is it in the black or the white? And as he sees over here, let's see. The black, it shows it just a bit more. In the white, it's almost opaque. So black, it's like 50%. He clears this as about 10% of his vision. He can see the demon in. And he marks all of these colors as he does these tests. Over here, he sees the demon more in the yellow than the red, even in this grayish or this orange down here. It's not quite as visible in the orange as it is in the yellow. So he marks all of this as he's going. And this is really cool. Because by the end of the episode, he's got notes just like all over the place.
Yes. So at least we know what the little post-its were from the trailer. Oh, poor Ben. Poor Ben. Our poor Ben.
they ever say the word? I want to say I can't read that. What is that?
Pareidolia?
Pareidolia in this episode? I'm not sure what reference that is, Buddha. I don't believe so.
I don't remember them using that word.
Let us know some more details, huh? We'll
Yes.
find out.
Give us some more. Give us some more.
This is creepy because Ben's like calling him out like you're not real, Mr. Jin. And he's like, okay. He grabs Ben up and like just it's like loud roar and stuff in his ear. He just holds him. Oh, creepy dude. Poor Ben.
I know, poor Ben.
He messed up by the end of this episode, Dana.
He's gonna break. I have a feeling that Ben is just gonna break this season. And I just have this sinking feeling that it's gonna lead to either his death or maybe his sister's. But it's breaking my heart. It's breaking my heart, Scarlet.
I know. Buddha Cafe says its tendencies to perceive a specific, often meaningful image in a random and ambiguous visual pattern. Human ability to see shapes or make pictures out of randomness. Okay.
Oh.
I don't remember them mentioning it in the episode. Again, we watched it late last night, and I kind of went through a little bit this morning when I was getting the screenshots, but I will try to watch it again and see if we don't pick up on it, because we're going to do another one Friday night to really kind of make sure we deep dive the episode, get all the goodies that we can out of it.
Yes, for the duration of evil, the fever hour will be now the evil fever hour, right?
Something like that. I ain't quite got the name worked out yet, but I got tonight to get it worked out today.
Something. It's gonna be something.
It'll be something.
But the fever hour is now gonna be
the
evil
hour. And yes, Gen Hat colors are basically frequencies. And which was so cool about this is because I don't even remember why I did it, but like about 4 days ago, I was just on here and I saw it. Probably something popped up on Twitter or something. It's like one of them color tests where you see the numbers, but they're all in like dots, and you have to take the test to see like if you get them, how many you get correct, and it determines how well your vision is. The vision test.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did it, and it talks about the different receptors in your eyes and which ones perceive which colors, and basically there's only 3 receptors, and those are what ends up splitting into the other colors or whatever, and how you can see. Oh, I remember I was watching a YouTube video. That's what it was. And it was about people who are colorblind and what they actually can see and what we see as normal color vision. So when it did talk about like the frequencies and stuff. So yeah, Jahak, that is really cool that you mentioned that, because that is something I think they're going to hit on. Because I'm curious is if they get into frequencies, are they going, and we get the collider, are we going to verge into dimensions?
Oh.
Are we going to have to like fine tune a frequency or something? Is it going to be like a color? I don't know. So I start thinking like super crazy sci-fi stuff that's probably not even accurate, but it makes me like curious to know where they're going with it.
Interesting. Interesting, Scarlet. That would definitely. Well, that brings me back to the elevator episode. Was where that elevator ended up, I really felt like that was like an alternate dimension of some kind. I really felt like that was a different plane, a different like area. That screamed to me like something dimensional.
The fever hour sounds like a really bad hot flash. We'll work on it. I don't know about the evil fever hour, but maybe the evil hour or just the evil stream. We'll figure it out.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Our brains are literally like working on 20,000 different things. We'll get it. We'll get something that sticks.
I'll work it out. I got a few hours. Don't worry about it, man. It'll be awesome. I can't wait for you guys to join us.
Yes.
Yes, dimensional frequencies. Oh, could it be? Because I already talked about, the collider possibly creating black holes or the simultaneous black holes to create the mega black hole. And Ben got hit with the gold beam from it, which he should be dead, technically. All that radiation.
I know you were saying, like, he should be fucking fried right now.
He should be. His cells should be breaking down. And they bury him very far down in, like, lead casket or something like that. He's not very good. But he's still around with his little new gym buddy. And this girl here, Lexi, she is looking she grew up. They got her looking real tall. She gets to go greet the little puppy dog.
Yeah, she really grew up. But she was really acting like she saw a legit dog for a second there. Because I'm sorry, you open the door, you see this fucking robot thing. I don't care if it's moaning and crying like a dog. I'm going to be like, what the fuck are you?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you? Yeah, no, you're not coming up in my house. You're not coming up in my house. Petting that shit and like, oh, are you scared? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Her reaction to this thing was a little bizarre.
Oh, yeah. She was a little happy to see it, but then, it was crying. Dana, look. Oh, it's sad. It was raining.
I don't like robots, so I'd be like, I'm sorry.
It was raining outside. They just won't come in and say hello.
It's going to be AI that destroys the fucking world. I'll tell you that.
Buddha Cafe says it's time for them to go all out and let them pass into an alternate universe via Collider. Or would that ruin the show? Honestly, I don't know if it would ruin it because they already hit on it on episode 1, sorta. Because even the church is not, like, the guy from the church was not so much worried about, like, a hellmouth opening, but this, like, basically black hole opening. And we don't truly know everything about black holes. So truly, It could be a portal. It could just be the collapse and sucking in stuff. Who knows what may happen with this possible black hole, because they're using a particular, the AU3, their gold 3 ion.
Something like that.
And they're shooting it at greater speeds than what the CERN Switzerland collider uses or does.
Yep.
So it's faster speeds around this different particle, or I should say ion, I believe that they're using. So yeah, that was hard to look up, because I even trying to look up about what the gold little particle ion was it made my brain hurt a little bit.
You know what vibes I got from it when they were starting to talk about, like, all that stuff with like the collider and stuff? I got a lot of Mist vibes. Like, that was the whole premise of almost like the Mist. They opened up this portal or dimension, and all them fucking monsters came pouring out of that fucking whatever they did. And, like, this just makes me feel that way. Like, they're gonna open up something and a whole shit ton of monsters are just gonna come fucking pouring through. Whether it be a portal to hell or another dimension, like, I think that's where we're gonna see a lot of stuff maybe come into play. And I think that's what's leading to almost David's visions of, like, the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, and Jen Hack, 3 Body Problems books help with dimensional fantasy. That was so mind-bending. I have not read the books, but I did watch the show, the first season, and I loved it. I love 3 Body Problems.
Yes, me and Scarlett are going to have a sit down about the 3 body problem, because
that was fun.
I didn't get it at all.
Oh my god, that whole season.
Maybe I'm too much of a stoner.
Oh, I loved it, Jen. It was so fun to watch.
I enjoyed it. I just didn't. I don't have your brain, Scarlett, so I didn't get certain things like you did. So you're gonna have to, like, do, like, the little kitty thing as, like, we go through, like, this is this is that, and I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, thank you. Now that makes sense.
I know, because they put some really good I mean, I love good sci-fi. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. You just don't make me feel like I'm a complete idiot when you do sci-fi, and I'm pretty on board. Because, I mean, there's still, like, even in this show, there's always the possibility. It's just you have to make it believable enough, because just with black holes, like we don't know enough about them. I believe this is part of them learning about black holes with the colliders.
Yes.
We're having to understand these things by playing with them, and which is dangerous, but it's so fun to see how they interpret it and how they sort of go about it, because they essentially use Cerna as their template for everything that they did with the collider and how they displayed it in the show. So that was really cool. They're making sure to be pretty accurate, I would say. Of course, there's a few things like Ben getting hit with it. He should have not been able to survive. They shouldn't have been in the room with him after. That's all the disbelief because they're trying to do the show. But everything else they did was pretty, I'd say, pretty accurate to what would happen if you got hit. Like his little badge went off. All of their badges went off that were in the collider. His was still radioactive up until I don't know how long after. So it was pretty good. And yeah, this is the final season so far that we know of. There's still some rumors, at least fan rumors, that they might pick it up and move it to Netflix. But they wrote it as this being the last season now after, I believe Paramount wasn't going to renew them again after this one. Davey, don't say that you're never too much of a stoner. Never say it.
Sometimes I have to question myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
And I love this, the big pop-up book we get. And then this is where I threw us off. How to Train a Dog. The episode is How to Train a Werewolf. So, is the werewolf still out there, Dana? I don't know why I think that, because clearly they beat it up and it was the robot. But why the name change?
Yeah, this threw me off because I said something else. I was like, How to Train a Dog. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I thought we was talking about werewolves.
Mm-hmm. I love this. The dude, he's trying to train the little doggy. Like, do this. And the dog, like, jumps up, eats his hand, bites his hand off. And then he just, like, he puts his head down and he's just like, oh, it's sad. The doggy bit my arm off. This is creepy. It's like at the graveyard over here. I always made me think this was supposed to be where they were at, but it's not. It's some other random house. And this big old tree with a graveyard. I don't know, something about this page creeped me out with the background of the dog. I don't know why it did, but it just gave me weird vibes.
It reminded me of David's father's farmhouse. I don't know why.
Is that what it was? Okay,
I don't know why.
Reminded me of something, but I couldn't put where it was. Like we'd seen it somewhere in the show before. It may
Yes,
not be
that gave me
definitely gave
that
me
gave me either those vibes or when they went to see that cult. Because I think they also had like a farm type setup. At the end, when Ben comes walking out and he's covered in all the blood, and he's like, religion.
Mm-hmm. Jen Hack says there's an idea that true 10-dimensional space was Eden, and we were kicked out of heaven and down to 3-dimensional reality now. Oh, okay.
Look at you, Jen.
Yeah, that makes more sense than some of the other stuff I read in the Bible. I'm sorry, no disrespect. You could sell me more that way than some of the other ways.
Deep diving. Go, Jen.
Here we go. Matter of fact, indeed. Light them up if you got them.
Hell yeah.
Good job, guys. Buddha Cafe says, I'm going deep quantum. Awesome. People worry particle colliders could open a black hole and kill us all. What if that did happen, but we don't know it? That's right. We don't know. I mean, it's always a possibility. You know, this, what was it? I hate to use a Disney reference, but what was it in Mulan when she was like, the tree was telling her, not Mulan, it was Pocahontas, and the tree was telling Pocahontas, like, something about, you know, the sky could fall, and your nose could fall off, or some shit like that. Anything's possible. Wake up tomorrow and a meteor could fall. Maybe two, Dana. If you're mean to your DM master.
Yeah, you know it.
You might have two.
I can just rain down the meteors and kill you all. That is pretty interesting, though.
Mm-hmm. And that was the fear. Like, they showed both sides of that in the first episode. Ben very much so saying, you know, well, of course the unknown is scary, but we're never going to know unless we attempt it. And then you had the church guy saying basically, no, this is too much of a risk. This is too far of a risk. Men saying the risk is inherently small. So you get both sides of that, both sides of the coin, so to speak.
Yep.
We get a robo-dog. I love how like the dog goes
I
back and
love how
forth.
it's got the lasers coming out of its eyeballs.
But look, he's like hooked up to a program. So that image we saw, is this AI? Sort of.
I'm
Like
telling
a
you,
VR.
Scarlett.
It's like VR, and then the dog. So see, it's like hooked up, and the image is behind him. And see the tail, how it matches up with the other. Hang on, a bit closer. See how the tail
It's gonna
matches up
be
with the doggy
Judgment
tail?
Day.
Look, the doggy's tail behind it. The other picture's doggy. It's right behind the robot tail. That shit crazy. Sorry.
Yep.
Looking at it that closely. Evil makes me think. Yes, it does. These shows do. Oh, dogs. Images are 100% AI. Yep. Canine from Doctor Who. There you go. It's all evil. And then it pops up with this, like, pit bull. Right. And look, the eyes. The eyes, Data.
Yep.
That was the eyes I swear that it had. It did not have those robot eyes. It had them kind of eyes that they saw. And then it just all of a sudden was a robot. So I don't know if that robot really kind of jumped at him or if there was two things out there.
I don't know. I
I'll
think
have
there
to
was
watch
something
that
else out
again.
there.
You know what? We're going to have to slow-mo that. I'm going to get that for Friday. We're going to find out. We own the case.
Yep.
When we get to
Detective
our lovely...
Scarlet. Detective
Yes.
Scarlet will get those images.
I'm telling you, man. They playing games with my emotions.
The fuckery. It's the fuckery. Word of the day. Fuckery.
Mm-hmm. Get back to our good old corporation, Daffodil. Leland's with the board meetings. And he is definitely getting his numbers showing. I love how they're showing these happy families. And he's like, yeah, we were at 20%. Now we're up to like 30%. Thanks to my March Forward campaign. And it's got the dad red with like a demon shirt on. Like, clearly you're targeting the men here. Let me say shit fuckery down under him. I mean,
that makes the word fuckery even better. Shit fuckery. New word of the day. Shit fuckery.
Oh god, that's funny. You put that on t-shirt, Data.
Yep, there we go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we get corporate, guys. I mean, Cheryl's full corporate. But she finds out that the glass ceiling is still very much so there, especially here in the daffodil industry, where they are not going to allow women to talk.
That pissed me off.
They gonna trigger
that
people,
pissed me off. I was just like, she's a woman. Like, suck nuts.
It is funny because Cheryl's like, they're all talking, all the guys are talking, and then they're kind of like, well, what's up? Why is this, what's up with the mom or who? Because they put the egg, in one of the office ladies that works in the office, one of Kristen's egg. And she's literally like, interrupts and it's just like, oh, she's my office worker or whatever. She's like, who is that? And Leland's like, oh, that's just one of my women in my department. Oh my god. Cheryl was pissed. Like,
yes.
Dude, like, you're only where you are now, Leland, a little bit because of me. Like, Cheryl thinks she's top shit now because she has done some stuff. So she thinks she deserves a lot more respect, although they're not going to give it to the women. They made sure to let her know that.
Yep.
Hence
why she was on display like a fucking dancing monkey.
I told you that was going to trigger the hell out of people in these shows. But it's kind of, I don't know, man. It was funny-ish. I kind of laughed later. Yeah, when we get to the image, you'll see why I laughed. It was still funny, even though it was cruel. But here's our normal manager guy. And then I'm just trying to watch these people. Does that look like Edward?
Which one?
This guy right here.
No.
That don't look like Edward? Okay.
It looks like him, but it's not Edward.
I'm trying to watch all these people, see if we've seen any of these new executives. And then, of course, this was the guy that we've seen in the Visions, the new manager. or another manager.
Yes.
The grayish goat. So again, I'm assuming that means these guys are normal humans. They don't have anything in them right now, and these two guys have a demon in them. And I'm assuming we assumed he was the high demon, but it could be him. He could be the big
Yeah.
sigil holder.
That threw me off a little bit.
And all kinds of new characters. There she is. She's like, I'm Cheryl. I'm here. And Leland's just like, oh, just shut up. The men are talking here. Do you mind? Write your notes.
Pretty much.
They gave off.
Do your secretarial duty.
Corporate satanic meetings are brilliant. Would have made my job at the cover a bit much more interesting. Oh my gosh. They're asking about how are things going. They got the child, of course, for the prophecy. Have to have it born on that date. Got to make the date for the prophecy to be fulfilled. And he's asking about the mother, and they're thinking, oh, the surrogate. No. Talk about Kristen. The mother on board. Is Kristen on board yet? Hell no, she ain't. She done kick Cheryl out. She don't like Leland. They messing with her husband. They got him all cracked out.
Cracked out is an understatement.
Oh, they messed up. They for real kind of messed up. I don't know how they gonna get Kristen on board with this, her being the mother of the Antichrist. Seriously, imagine zooming with these guys. I can see the thing is I don't think everybody can see the demon heads, only the people who are aware. That's funny.
Yes, almost the people who have their third eye open can see them.
And here he is, our guy that we need to watch. Dana, this is Greg. Little Greg. He's got a
angry Greg. He's angry.
He got a demon in him. They put demon in him, and demon's coming out a little too much, getting a little too aggressive.
Yes.
He's hitting
He's
folks.
overstepping his boundaries, Scarlett.
Mm-hmm. Well, he hit the dude later with the book.
That was so funny. No, just note that the client just hit his lawyer with like law book number,
yeah.
whatever.
So she's ready to prove herself, and Leland's like, all right, go rein old dude in. He got a demon attached to him, and it's getting a little out of control. Not a good look. Here's the address. We need you to go off and kind of figure this out for us. Because they don't think a woman can handle it. He bastard. He played her.
He did. He
played her. So we get poor old Andy. He's under the bed, having nightmares, having weird dreams, not doing good. But he's going to go to the doctor. They're going to find out where he's been getting shot up at with the needles.
Yep.
They've been drugging him, mind controlling him. Poor Andy. Not doing good.
Nope. I felt so, like, I'm really feeling for Andy. I am. Because he is being so manipulated and so taken advantage of.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to end up doing something. He's going to end up either hurting one of his girls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I just have this just visions of something fucked up's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Cracking open another bourbon and Coke. Thanks, babes. Cheers.
Yes. Enjoy.
But this is crazy. So these girls are so smart. They underestimate these girls at every turn. They basically understand what this dog is as far as the technology to a degree. They got their tablets. They done got it Wi-Fi to hook to their tablets. They're teaching it stuff, tricks. When Ben had it earlier, he was like, Ben can't figure out how to, or in a minute, Ben can't figure out how to make this thing do anything. But these girls got it rolling around, doing all kinds of tricks. I don't understand how these girls are smarter than Ben sometimes. Look at this arm thing, though. This thing right here, it opens like a mouth, and it ends up biting Kristen like a scratch.
It does.
It was scary.
But it was nice to see Andy in that moment, like truly, almost, there was a hint of happiness. Like he was with his daughters and like doing all this stuff. Like they're really tugging on my heartstrings this season with Andy.
Oh
They're
yeah,
tugging. They're tugging.
absolutely. And here we go. Are you ready? Can you
Let's go.
spot the sigils? If not, I will zoom in. Probably can't spot them. I'm gonna have to zoom in. But they are right up here in the rafter thingies. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, you got the top two. There's a top row of sigils. You see what I
Oh
mean by
my
how
god, I
hard this was.
never would have fucking seen that.
And there's a bottom row. And this top row and bottom row of sigils, and again, this is just for the viewers. And I could be wrong because, like I said, I had to go, and some of these I could not make out. I had to do the best I could with how I could read the sigils. Because this is an M. I could barely tell that was a goddamn M. It took me all night to figure out that was the M sigil. I was like, what? And some of these are just really, really hard. These with the cross ones, like you can kind of tell that one's still a circle there. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's only a 2, not a 3. One of these has a 3 somewhere.
I never would have spotted any of that shit.
So the sigils are up there. This is when Kristen's on the phone after they're like, yo, the dog, I thought you turned it off. What's up with it? And I believe this first part, these two top ones, the top and the bottom would say essentially the number of fingers on. And then the next frame, here we go up here at the very tippity tip top. There we go, right up. Oh, there we go. The sigils are up here at the tippity tip top. Let's see. Yep. There's some, and they come all the way across here. It was hard to see them all. Like I said, they put it at the tippity top of the daggone page. Oh, here's the rest of them. Dang it. I clicked. I didn't mean to click. Here they are. They're up here. Way up here. And they go around over here. Top up there. These are a little easier to read. Except for this little section here. I'll lighten that up. But they put them up there. So essentially, I believe it reads the number of fingers on Greg's right hand. And we met Greg. He is our crazy sociopathic demon dude. Thank you, hon. Yes, because I was not going to give up till I found him last night. Because I know they're supposed to be there.
Totally missed it.
So now you know how they play in this game, Dana. You see how they playing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just totally random. Throwing this stuff in here. Like, you legit got to like, look for it.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're going to figure out what's up with this dog, but not before David has to go on his little mission. He got a mission from church. A secret message. He got to go find out if he a prophet. He don't know that yet. But this was creepy. Dude, they kind of walk in. Nobody's really talking to David, telling him basically to kind of like sit here. This guy walks in and tells him this creepy, like, basically backstory of himself, I guess.
Yeah. And David's like, am I supposed to say something now?
Dude waits for his watch to go off, and then he leaves, and David is just sitting there wondering, like, what in the hell is going on? They get to this, they take him to this other room where another table with some gentlemen are sitting around. They got this card. It's like the Ace of Diamonds in the middle of it. And they're like, all right, we're not telling you nothing. They give them a few rules as far as to not move your wrist or something, I think. Or you're not.
Yeah, you can only move your arm. You can't move your wrist as you draw, but you can move your arm and bend your elbow.
And they are just supposed to focus on this card and figure, I don't know, just draw whatever comes to them.
Yep. So I'm thinking they're like all candidates of some kind.
Oh, yeah. Because they're watching them as they're drawing, kind of like, it's like a test. Because later they sit them down and kind of reveal what that was all about. It was really cool.
It was.
But poor Andy, he does go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, you're not showing any signs of any kind of trauma from basically the avalanche. No kind of frostbite, nothing, skin tissue damage or anything from that. But man, you got some track marks, and your blood work is a little shady. He's like, what do you mean I got track marks? Like, I don't shoot up. I don't even like needles.
I'm not on drugs.
I'm not even into that. But sure enough, between his toes, where Leland got him, and Andy immediately is like, I want a drug test. Because Andy's like, this really messes with him because he has almost no recollection of this. So that would throw me off too. Like, the doctor's telling him within the last 2 days, you have been injected, not just with just a needle, but they know it's a IV.
Yes.
That's like not something that's not like somebody just came and accidentally stabbed you in your sleep or something. That's like you had to have known about that, right? So he's really like tripping now. He's like, what in the hell's going on?
Yes.
But like I said, as always, we are popping back and forth between like 20 stories. Evil constantly is giving you like layered stories. And Ben's going to figure out exactly how this robot or who it belongs to, and he's got it all taken apart, hooked up to his computer, and the person who owns it kind of pops on and is like, hey, what you doing with my robot?
Yep. He's like, who are you? Who are you? What'd you do with my dog?
Ben does his whole, you messed up. You should, you jailbroke it. You gonna either tell us how you did it, tell us where you did it. If you want your dog back, you ain't getting your dog. And he's all like, well, I got the GPS. And Ben's like, you ain't got nothing. Unplug. You ain't got no GPS now. You have to meet us later. Get your doggy back. Yes, Leland will lose to the little girls at the end. I believe so too.
Those little girls is tough.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, living with an addict. Kristen's got to deal with that now. Because she really thinks like, I love how too when they were in the doctor's office, she tells like, Andy, I know before the kids were born, we did stuff.
I know, right? I know we experimented a little bit.
He's like, yeah, but never nothing like this. Like, she's almost like, to her, it's almost normal for her to think it's okay for someone to have those sort of problems, as opposed to believe that it's something darker.
Yes.
Or something like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, even with her daughter, she's okay with thinking that her daughter is doing what she thinks is a normal teenage behavior, as opposed to her being with a nun and trying to be, going over there and trying to find out what it is to be a nun and going towards God. She's almost like that's not normal, so that's bad. It's almost like the norm. Yes. She's okay with. I can handle the norm. We can deal with this. I know how to handle this, but other things she doesn't know how to handle. That's like almost triggering to her. But this, she's like, oh, okay, he's got a little drug problem. We did some drugs back in our time. It's fine. We can deal with this.
Yep.
But she hears something downstairs and she sees these. Now, these I'm assuming are going to be I don't know what the heck this is. It's dark. I know it's probably hard to see. But these were essentially, I believe, the tracks, like the mud tracks from the animal. Or from not the animal.
But it's still weird because are they one row or are there like pairs? Because how would it only trek in one set of, like, you know what I'm trying to get at? Like, it had 4 legs. So why doesn't it look like that?
And I don't even know what these patterns are. I thought originally when we first watched it, this was the sigils. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to like piece these together or something. I still think I might have to.
How many are there?
There's 6, I believe.
There you go. There's one of your 6s.
5, 6. Damn it, I didn't even click that. But I can't tell because it's dark. Even when I lighten it up, I'm scared that I'm going to like not be able to see the indentions. I just don't know what this is because it doesn't like
and they emphasized it for a reason.
Yeah, and the robot doesn't. His feet were round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't fit the pattern of that dog.
And this almost looks like a person. Like, there's the head. I know it's like a puzzle piece. Think of it like the puzzle piece, and it's like turned wrong. And this is almost like a body. This is almost like people. almost like ruins, or like a like, think of like, something on a stone that somebody carved and it's in pieces.
Oh yeah.
But I
Oh
don't know. I
yeah.
can't fit the pieces together because I can barely even make them out. But that was weird. So that threw me off. I have no idea what that's about.
I don't either.
But yeah, she freaks out, knows something's in the house. She goes to close the door. And it's like this AI thing's freaking me out. She checks out to see where it's at. And it's with Lexi. Watching Lexi.
Yep.
Mama goes in and dog is like full alert mode. What is up with this dog? And again, this is the one that was sent to them by the company. It shouldn't have any of that malware in it, or anything, any of the jailbreaks, or anything that they were talking about. It shouldn't have any of that.
I know
those
something
marks
triggered it.
Those marks look like machine gun shots on the wall, right? Like they didn't look normal. It was weird. The prints that they had, the dog left. These are weird. I don't know what's up with this. This is whole episodes. They're getting stranger and stranger, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know when would this dog have been implanted or jailbroken. That's something I think that the way she made it out was something you have to physically have the dog to be able to do that. It's not a remote access type of thing. Although the girls were remotely accessing it with their tablets, so I'm so confused.
I am too.
Like, how does this work? But no,
I have no idea.
It goes after her, so clearly it's not a racial thing. It's going, and then it goes right past her and is almost like it's searching for something in the house.
Yes.
It's protecting Mama right now. Mama don't know what it's protecting her from. But it is ready to attack. And guess who pops in at midnight or so again? Aw, she's out with her boyfriend, supposedly. Yep. She's off
allegedly
at the church getting her rosary. Mama don't approve. No, I'm just kidding. Mama don't approve. I think it's so crazy how Kristen does not approve of that. Like, she's... Oh, this is so weird. So this show just can trigger you in all sorts of ways. But the dog is essentially going after the religious text, but the daughter also has it on her phone. So it's literally going after, like, God. And once she puts it away and Mama hugs on her, shows Doggy it's okay, and Doggy goes back to safe mode. He's happy Doggy now.
Yep, it was about to terminate in that moment.
Mm-hmm. And this is where we get to where I think we're going to get the answer to our question of the sigil mystery question. Here is our dude, Greg, and I'm going to assume this is his right hand right here. I have to do my left and right and I have to turn my body. He's going to be real jerky here to our girl, Cheryl. He just literally steps on her shoe and basically like spits on her because he's like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
Just basically says that they sent her there as a very friendly, how do you do? They wouldn't send a woman dressed like the way she's dressed if they were being serious. Totally just diminishes her and brings her down.
Yep.
But she got something for him. She's going to come back and we're going to get possibly our answer. I think it's 4. How many fingers he's going to end up with on his right hand.
Yep.
But while she's dealing with that, they're going to reveal to David about the remote viewing. She shall get her revenge. Oh, it's good. I mean, Cheryl, when she gets her revenge, she does not disappoint. Here we go. So while David was essentially drawing or getting ready to draw, this guy was going. He had all these cameras on him, and they were kind of making sure that there's no way for the contestants to even know that this guy's out here where he's at and what he's viewing. And he's focusing, so they put the card there. They're both this card, and there's another card that David and them are viewing that is at a different location. They're focusing on the card, and then he pans to the left and right and kind of gives a view of what he sees. And when he does, they're showing David the pictures that David drew. And this is one of the views that he gave them, and this is what David drew without David having any knowledge. So I believe you said it was like, what, 75% accuracy he was drawing? And even LeConte, who doesn't believe in this or doesn't think this is real in any form, he thinks there's a way to explain it beyond just you actually being able to do this as like a power or whatever. It even blows his mind because he's like, there's no way for you to have known any of this, for you to have had that amount of accuracy. There's something special about you, David. And so David will be getting ready, I believe, to be categorized as a prophet, possibly.
Yeah, I can see that.
But he ain't worried about that. He got to go hang out with his crew, and they going to go figure out distance viewing. They called it remote viewing. Is distance viewing another term for it? I'm not sure. I got to go watch the Wi-Files.
Yep, I will send you the couple of episodes that they talk about it, and it's actually pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah, no,
I'm shocked that you haven't watched that guy yet. You would love him.
So we got so much to watch.
You'll like his. He has this little sidekick called the Hecklefish, and all it does is talk shit the entire episode, and it's so funny. It's so funny.
But here is the owner of the doggy that went crazy, Robo Dog. They thought was a racist pothead. Because they're claiming pothead or people who grow weed in New York have these for security purposes. He's one of them. He's apparently got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these motherfuckers running around New York, apparently. Can't keep control of his doggies.
That's the least of our problems out here in New York, but what's running around.
Mm-hmm. It was funny because they're literally like coming out of their mouths like, oh, this racist pothead, wonder what he's going to be like. And then he comes and gets out the car and they're like, it's almost like their mouth drops like, well,
they weren't expecting it. They weren't expecting it. They were expecting it to be some like hillbilly white guy.
Not who they expected. Even he was like, what do you mean my doggy's racist? I didn't program it for that. It's like I programmed to have or I did the jailbreak so it would have like a longer battery life or something.
Yes. And he's like, I found the hack on Reddit.
I know. Good old Reddit. And so they give him the link and they go check it out. And here it is. True Hacktivists. There's our sigil. This thing is marked. And then even the codes on here, all it says is like surveillance cam mod, surveillance record mod. They got a range power mod, range circuit mod, range extend mod. So he's going through and there's nothing on here that says anything that should give it what it's doing to these people.
Yep.
Yeah, Jen Hack. This one's for you because you are up there, Dana, in New York. Says it seems a bit like Ozzy. Outspoken, honest, and multicultural.
We try. We get a bad stigma, but we try. I tend to be considered a weird New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever New Yorkers show niceness, we're always like, you don't seem like you're from New York. Why? Because I'm not. When you first meet me, I don't tell you to fuck off.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. There's no packs that say that should do that, but of course, we know if there's a sigil attached, just because they say that the pack is for surveillance cam mod, do you really believe that's what it's for? I tell you what, you just go and get things off the internet like this, and you just go put them into AI robots and stuff. You find out what happens. They end up
go fuck with the AI. Well, what could happen? Well,
Yeah,
what could happen?
fucking with software from a hack site, and you don't know what these hacks really are. You got to trust your hack site.
Go make yourself a cup of coffee and then go hack the AI. It'll be a full day.
Mm-hmm. And Nick says Florida's full of Southern charm and lunatics, and we are all armed. It's fun here. If Florida's its own special place as well.
Yes. There's a reason why New Yorkers are fleeing to Florida. And one of the reasons is the fact that we can't be armed.
Mm-hmm. So they figure out, and Ben's like, well, of course, even if they put this in, how would the algorithm or how would the dog be able to just like pick up certain things? And they get to it and say, oh, it's the app. And he's like, what kind of apps do you have? And this app, it's basically they're kind of like their church app, and it has like music on it, when their masses take place, so they know, almost probably like gives you like a notification, hey, mass is going to start.
Yep.
And it just so happens this is the same app that her daughter has, Kristen, and the dog gets ready to go after it, or after her.
Oh.
The devil is me, hack me. You are the devil, Jen. How dare you? Jen hack. If there's your sigil.
I know.
It's true hackers. See, it's Jen Hack. Did it the whole time. I have them right here in the chat. But that's pretty cool though. They're throwing a lot, like I said, in each one of these episodes. Really going down some rabbit holes with this stuff. And poor Andy in his bathtub.
Oh, I know.
That
He's going
phone.
through such serious withdrawal.
Mm-hmm. This was heartbreaking too, because the girls legit bust in on him, trying to make sure he's okay, and he's shaking, like having the cold flashes and the hot flashes in the bathtub with his phone just like ringing, and he's literally tells the girls, please don't cry, it's okay, just please don't cry, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay. And then they answer the phone, and he's like, please don't answer it. And he can almost hear the Feliz Navidad. And he's just
Uh-huh.
been like, he's like this right here, just no, make it stop. I don't want to hear it. He's like almost knows he's going to be triggered again. He doesn't want to go back there. Here it is. Leland on the other end with his Feliz Navidad. Little doggy, Chihuahua doggy.
Yep.
But the girls are smart. They answer, tell him to stop calling. They sing to Daddy, try to get him to calm down and relax. And I even love how the eldest, because she's going down the path of being a nun, and she's being very, she does a lot of this lately where she's been very concerned with people and almost attentive.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she will end up being a nun.
I do too. I really think she's going to go down the path of being a nun, and it's going to cause a big conflict and rift between her and Kristen.
Oh, yeah. That night, though, they go, this was weird, because when I remember watching it, and I thought to myself, yeah, the Robo Dog made its way back to the house. It's Robo Dog. I'm sure it made its way back. Because Kristen's like, I thought you took it, Ben. He was like, what are you talking about? It's right here with
The
me.
dog's right here.
It's got the tail that the girls put on it, because they even put a tail on the dog. The girls some cute shit like that.
That was funny. Did you give it a tail? Yes, we did.
That like drop of fear when he's like, no, it's with me. Like, what in the hell is in my house? It legit opened the door. What is in my house? Grabs a hammer, runs upstairs. I mean, she got a hammer this time still. Wish you'd grab something bigger.
Yeah, but you saw how the hammer got like stuck. Mm-hmm. So it's still.
As I said, she needs something a little bit bigger than the hammer. But here it is. You can barely see the little arm, but his arm is like over the daughter where the phone is, almost like it's honing in on the phone, but then it goes like to her face. And Mom busts in, and Doggy's not happy.
Nope, it's got its Terminator mode fucking on.
There it is. Target locked in. Kristen's got the hammer. She tries to hit it. She misses. Hits the bed. Gets like this little bite scratch on her. But she's not down, guys. She's not down and out. She comes out, and the music from the phone is playing, and it's like this. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like church music, like hymn music or something. And it was just like, oh, and then she's just beating the crap out of this robot. And she kills it. It's go bye bye.
Yep. Smash that shit to pieces.
Mm-hmm. And where did the robot come from? Again, it was one of the other guy's robots. His robot. Why is his robot?
How many
coming to
does
her
he
house?
have?
He had a few for to keep his property safe. It was crazy. I like, dude, you messed up. He's sus now. He got too many robots running around New York.
Pretty much.
The girl Cheryl's back. She's back to tell this dude what's up with his bad attitude. Got bad attitude. Gotta bring it back down.
Yep,
Cheryl,
gotta correct that shit.
she corrected it.
She sure did.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers on Greg's hand. It's right in. He got 4 fingers.
Yep, as she cut that shit off.
That's either 4
right
or
next
5,
to the
guys.
Rice Krispie treats.
I
Right
don't know
next
if
to
we're
the fucking Rice Krispie
I know.
treats.
Rice Krispie treats. They don't look too bad, actually. Whoever made those, very uniform. Are they real Rice Krispie treats? Maybe we want Rice Krispie treats now, Dana.
I know, right? Damn munchies.
No, so I think our answer to the riddle is 4. It's either 4 or 5. I think it's 4 because you cut the finger off. Take 1 away.
Yep.
Down a digit. And she throws him a bagel. Tells him stop complaining, stop whining. Doesn't I have a bagel?
And she's like, wah. She's walking out, wah.
Or he tries to grab the finger. She's like, nope, nope, nope. That's not your finger anymore. Nope, sorry. Gotta have that for the bosses. But yeah, there it is. There she is. She's like, wah. There she is. Look at her. Taunting his ass. Threw the bagel at him. It's still on the floor.
Wasting a good bagel.
And New York bagels too, man.
Hell yeah, I would have walked out that shit and been eating the bagel.
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon raisin. I think it was cinnamon raisin too, my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Did you not cutting off the opposable thumb would have been more cruel and disabling? See, Booty Cafe says she went Johnny Depp on it. She would love, Leland said any means necessary. She figured it out. She's gonna get promoted by the manager. He was so pleased with her.
Give her the corner office.
She presented him with the finger in a nice little box. Everybody's congratulating her. She's taking her bows. And yeah, I love it because Leland laughs. He's like, you going to promote her? Nah, she's a woman. It's like, give her something. All right, move her up to the executive floor. Give her the corner office. And Leland just like bust out laughing. Because it's literally, here it is, guys. She's going to break this glass ceiling before it's over with. It's like, it's kind of tiny. She got to walk in there. And the guys is above her, and there's the glass ceiling, her office below, and there's the executives right there on top of her.
Yep.
And Leland being an absolute jerk about it. They all laugh at her.
But she does say, I'm coming for all of you.
Mm-hmm. She gonna get them. They think it's so funny. It kind of was funny, though.
It was.
Yeah.
Dance, dance.
How the hell the show gonna make me feel sympathy for Cheryl when she's a bad guy?
Right? I didn't want to in this moment, but I was like, yeah, get him, Cheryl.
Right?
Get him.
How they gonna do me like they playing mind games?
I still hate you, but get him.
I know. They play mind games. I don't appreciate that. Play too much. But no, that was really funny. And like I said, then we get to the final kind of thing of the episode where they're basically get this guy like, dude, you got your second robot coming after. He's like, no, y'all destroyed my robots. Dude, your robot's in my house. I did not get your robot. It came inside my house. Like, it didn't just like walk in. It like busted through the door, came in my house.
Yes, it's when can they fucking open doors?
Really. Dude's like, just seriously getting all mad. And then revealed that the chick comes down the steps and is like, "Oh, I'm the one that created the software, and you have just admitted that you tampered with it." Yeah, you'll be hearing from my lawyers like 100 something thousand or
Yep.
$100,000 fine or some shit like that.
Something like that. 150. It was something astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're going to have to sell a lot of weed.
Yep. Zoom with Cheryl for meeting to avoid the blade, says Jen Hack. Absolutely. But yeah, they got him. They think they got him because they're just thinking that it was just him. Not even the fact that it was probably the jailbreak itself that did it. This guy probably legit thought he was doing just a harmless jailbreak, and whoever that hack site was has got a lot worse, intentions. So much more that it's like honing in on certain people.
I'm telling you, Leland. It's Leland somehow.
Oh, of course it is. And then they're sitting there like, oh, we got dude, and there's these weird little flashes of the light that almost like when you get a migraine or something, you see the little weird flashes.
Uh-huh.
And then little Jen pops up in his peripheral again. He's just kind of hanging out there, always there. And I don't think Ben was expecting it. Because it threw him off so much so that he ends up going to Kurt, our friendly demon psychiatrist, to get help. It's pretty much where they leave us. And Kurt's just like, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here. Kurt's going to help him figure it out. Ben's he's totally lost his mind at this point. Poor Ben.
Pretty much. Poor Ben.
That is pretty much the episode, guys. It was pretty good, actually. Like I said,
It was. I enjoyed it.
I see it. Last episode, I definitely would give the episode 1 a 9 because it was such a good opener. This one, I give it a 8, even though it was good. There was a little more story filler in it, but again, I feel like they kind of had to. They can't just go balls to the walls every episode, but they still gave quite a bit in the episode. What do you think?
Yes, I definitely liked episode 1 a little more, but this episode really had me had some what the fuck moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Really good moments. And like I said, they're giving us the science, which they always kind of was there. They're really putting in the forefront this season. And who knows? I mean, the baby's still coming. We got the collider still possibly going to go popping off. Who knows if they got that thing to be shut down or not. And we got a 7 out of 8 avocados from Jen Hack. Awesome. Guys, let us know what you think as well. Pretty good.
I agree with Jen. This is a 7 for me. Still good, but I know that this is just build up. This is just build up. They're building us up. So I'm okay with it.
Oh, yeah. Because this one it was almost like the one, you got to get a little bit of this and that through. But, it really is building to what I think the ending of the season is going to be like. So I can't wait. Again, we just got to wait one more week and get another episode.
But also remember, when they were filming this, they didn't realize yet that they were being canceled or the show was coming to an end. So I'm guessing the first few episodes or up until almost the last 4 episodes where they give us the conclusion that they went and refilmed, I bet you this is all build up as if they were having an additional season or further seasons. So we're going to still get the stories that are kind of left with okay, we didn't solve it fully, but it's an evil thing. Maybe they'll come full circle in another episode and we'll see the characters come back or something. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these earlier episodes in this season that we're getting were on the premise of they were going to have an additional season after this.
Yes. And they did probably have to scramble a little bit to finish it out. But this was pretty good. Monster Baby soon? Yes, we should be getting it. They promised it. The baby shall be born. It was, 30 days now? According to Kristen?
38 days, I believe.
It was 38 days, but Kristen said now, 30 days?
Oh, yes. Oh.
And yes,
bye, Nikki. Good luck.
Bye. Good luck. You gotta go get your blood tests and x-rays. Yes, good luck, honey. Hope you feel good today. Hope you're not having too much pain. But yeah, this one is pretty decent. And like I said, we're gonna see. Let's see, what is our next episode title? Did they put it? I'm sure they put it out. I know they put most of them out. Needle season 4, episode 3. Let's see if they'll tell us. No, all right. You know what? Let's just do episode list. So I don't know if they have that one up yet. We had a list at one point. I'll have to go back and see. Let's see. Episode 3. What is it going to be titled? Ooh, have they not titled it yet? Episode 4 is How to Grieve. Episode 3. They're not telling me anything on episode 3. Oh, is it untitled, Dana?
Dun dun dun.
Oh, I'm gonna find out by Friday. We're gonna find out. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining us this morning, afternoon,
Yes.
or late night, wherever you are. We are going to get ready to close it down because I know Miss Dana has got some things she's got to take care of this afternoon, and we got to get ready for D&D tonight.
Yes.
We love D&D on your channel. Matter of fact, let me get your link. I'm going to try to quickly put it in there in the chat if you guys are not subbed to Dana. Please
Yes,
sub to her.
we're going to kind of do a welcome to the world episode. Going to introduce the world a little more. You guys will get to talk about your characters a little more. We'll recap last week's, episode, and then we'll get ready for Saturday's continuation of the game.
Mm-hmm. Right, there is your link in the chat, my dear. So if you guys are not sub to her, because we will be back tonight on her channel, and then we'll be back here Friday night for our for another little evil stream, just to try to see if there was anything else we missed or anything you guys want to talk about.
Yes.
And then Saturday night, yeah, we will be doing more D&D, guys. So it is just jam-packed today. I get my stuff ready. I've just been working on my character, trying to
You have been. I'm so
ready.
proud of you.
Oh, Dana was too nice to all of us, so we got to really focus. She gave us good things, and we have to because there's a lot. There's a lot to focus on.
Yes.
But we're gonna make it, and we're gonna get to show the.
Yes, we're debuting the Scarlet intro, the D&D intro.
It's your intro. I just made it for you. She tried to be too nice. It's her intro for her D&D campaign.
Yes, but it was still created by Scarlet Fever Productions.
You're too generous. It's Dana's intro. She maybe put my name in it and everything, but it's hers.
Yes.
It's all for Dana. And her also, she did all the writing. We got a little special guest voice actor for Abraxas in there, all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Well, he's not even a guest. He is the Abraxas voice. He is our official voice actor for Abraxas. So yeah,
you never know. Abraxas may be lurking in the chat.
Yep, you never know. He's gonna pop around. He's everywhere. I'm watching out for him. Gotta keep us safe. Going through portals and doorways and stuff.
There you go.
There are some dimensional things going on in Dana's story as well.
There sure are.
So yeah,
I bring all that magical goodness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so much fun. I can't wait because we get to kind of reintroduce ourselves too. We want to really make sure that you guys kind of get a chance to kind of get introduced to each of the characters.
Yeah.
So we're going to really try to go over that a little bit better because I know I didn't go over mine very well.
It was our first live, the first episode. We had a lot of things going on. So this episode, we're just going to kind of do a full introduction to the world, show off some artwork, some stuff for the visuals to get a little more feel of how my world works. And it's going to be fun tonight.
Mm-hmm. So cannot wait for that tonight, guys. But we're going to get ready to take off so we can prepare for that tonight. I know I've got to make sure I at least got a few little things written down And we gotta get ready for Friday night and Saturday night. So much to do.
I
So
know.
little time.
I
Thank
know.
you guys. Thank you all for joining us. And of course, my awesome bestie, Miss Dana. Always glad to have you with me hanging.
Always fun to join you. You know, I
Yeah.
love our little talks.
Mm-hmm. We have fun. We try to have fun with you guys.
Yes.
But yeah,
It's not hard for us to have fun.
it's right, because you know what, Dana? Just because.
Pretty much.
I hope you all learned some things today. We got to learn some science early this morning, or not too early, but it's afternoon now. So it was really good. We got to learn some things. And we'll get to learn some more things tonight. So thank you
Yes.
guys. We will see
Thank
you
you.
all tonight on Dana's.
Yes.
Bye
Yay.
guys.
Bye.
When it's your turn to do an old-timey narration, there are a few things that all boys and girls should consider. Do you know how to properly use a mid-Atlantic accent? Have you ever tried Carter's Little Liver Pills? Do you know how to properly use the phrases gosh, golly, gee whiz, or and how? Have you ever watched Little Orphan Annie, taken a wooden nickel for something, drank Pepsi Cola, smoked a Winston cigarette, or tried rich chocolatey Ovaltine?